Lady Ms., how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I actually have a question. I wanted to know if what I did was right or wrong. I normally never really trust the banks either. And right now, me and my husband, what we just did was we took a home equity line of credit out to pay off our rental property. When I looked at the numbers, the interest rate was higher on the loan from the rental property. And we have someone in there right now who's paying. So I figured to kind of eliminate that so that now we own it free and clear and we'll save money over time and just put extra money into it. But I am nervous a little bit because we took the equity out of our residential home where we live. So I'm just, listening to you and trying to understand the pill method, trying to understand, was that a good decision? Was it a bad one? And how do I pay it off quicker? So I'm definitely going to check that out.
Okay, so here's what I just heard. You just said that you had equity that was locked into the walls of your house.
Yes.
And you got a HELOC.
Correct.
Which unlocked that equity.
Right.
And you use it to buy a money-making asset.
I use it to pay off.
Yes.
Yes.
To pay off a money-making asset and create more equity.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out where we're going wrong here.
Well, you know what? I left this part out.
Okay.
This is the part that got me nervous because I'm like always so nervous with these banks. I feel they're never doing anything in the best interest of us. It's always in the best interest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was telling my husband, when we first started, we was at a certain percentage rate.
Right.
And then he said, oh, you're going to have 0%, which is great for this amount of time. But then after that, it's going to go strictly into a interest only loan. And I don't like, and I know what that means. You're hoping that, I just pay the interest only with time so that I still owe all this money in the end. So that's where I was kind of like thrown off. I was like,
I got you.
Think they're doing us a favor? Yeah. So it threw me for a loop. So I was really trying to understand, maybe wrap my brain around it because I was like, I don't get this. But of course, I know, like I explained to my husband, hey, we're not going to pay interest only, all right? Because I don't trust this at all. We're going to pay more money into this so that we can pay it off quicker. I was looking at it. I'm like, am I thinking right here? I just want to make sure.
Let me tell you something. If all of my loans were interest only loans, I would love it. I want to put something on here. I'm going to get you an idea of what's happening here, because if you have an interest only loan, you are in complete control of that loan.
Okay.
And how much interest you pay. And we're going to point out some things here. Folks, this is why you need to know the difference between interest rate and interest cost. And you need to control interest cost. So listen, I'm going to put this on here. How much is a HELOC? How much did you take out?
Just 100,000.
Just 100,000.
Yes.
All right, 100,000. And what's the interest rate?
The interest rate,
approximately,
it's around 2.85.
2.85, and it's probably a variable rate loan, correct?
Right.
And I'm telling you, folks, I'm not afraid of variable rate loans. I'm telling you right now, I'm not afraid of them. All right. So your amortization is probably a 360-month amortization, but the term is probably a 10-year term. Meaning, unless you do something, this is going to revert to a regular principal and interest loan in 10 years. Is that how it's set up?
Well, the way they said it was, okay, this 2.85 is for a certain period of time. I think 18 months, I'm sorry. And then it goes to 3 point something, close to 4%.
Hold on for a second. Let's just pretend it's at 4% now. Let's give it the worst.
Okay.
I need the worst case scenario here.
Okay. Yeah. So put it at 4.
All right. Watch this. Okay. So if it's at 4% on this loan, okay, your payment is going to be like $477.42. And the interest payment is $333.33. Okay. If you just pay the interest, all right, the interest is calculated. I love interest only loans. On $100,000, here is their interest payment. For the next 5 years, if you just pay the interest, you will still owe $100,000.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So now your payment is based on what? I need you to repeat this for everybody on the stage. Your payment is based on what?
I would just be paying the interest only.
Right. Okay. So it's based on how much you owe right now.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you something. Now, I'm looking at this. When you make your $333.33 interest payment, if you give the bank an extra $144.09 with that, do you realize you never have to pay that interest? You knock out a whole interest payment. Okay. Plus, you don't owe $100,000 anymore. How much do you owe on the principal balance on the first line?
The 99,000.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
99,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So now your interest payment on a 99,000, if you don't do anything else, your interest payment on the $99,855.91 is how much money?
The interest is 332.
Yes. Yes. Why are you laughing? Huh?
No, because I figured to not just to pay the 100 to put
I know,
take
but
the
I'm going
full
slow.
amount
I'm going
that we were
slow.
getting from our tenant
Yes.
and just pay it fully.
How much you getting from your tenant?
2,000.
$2,000.
And that's way under market.
$2,000. Okay. Can I show you something?
Yes.
Because of this, if you give the bank an extra 2,000, are you seeing cumulative principal here?
No, I don't understand
That's
that.
that's the third column, cumulative principal. That is all the principal payments added up.
Oh, okay.
That's all your principal payments added up. And this is why most people don't have this where the math is already done for them. We're going to add up all the principal and all the interest payments. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you give the bank an extra $2,000 on top of your payment, okay, the closest I can come is right here, $2,061. You seeing that? That's on line 14 of the schedule.
Yes, 14. Okay, I see it now.
Right.
Yep.
Right. If you do that, pay that extra $2,061 on top of the 333, guess what happens?
What?
You see this $4,295.41. Wait till that you see that come on your screen. That's how much interest you just saved by doing that. If you give them the extra $2,000, you're paid down to line 14 on the schedule. Right now, in 1 month.
So how long will it take me to clear that up? Because what I want to do is
that I don't
pay
know.
this off fast so I could purchase more like multifamily homes.
Okay, so you don't want to pay it off then. You want to put yourself in a position to cash out refi years sooner.
Right. What they said was that if we pay it off after 10 years, if we use it again, it just restarts all over in a sense where we always have access to that cash no matter what.
Yeah, you can reapply. See, here's the thing. And folks, this is going to be so important in the last few minutes here. So what we're talking about is if you put this money on, all right, and now how much do you owe?
On the HELOC?
Right. If you put that money on, how much would you owe on the HELOC?
Not the 97,000?
Right. The 97,938.49. So if your payment is based on how much you owe, what is your new payment? It's on the very next line. What is your new payment?
The new payment is $326.
So let's back up a little bit. You started out at a payment of $333 interest only. Are you telling me every time you make payments on principal, you control what your minimum payment is going to be from now on?
Well, you kind of do, because every time you're paying down the balance, the payment is based off of what you owe. And that's what that percentage is.
Do you see why I love an interest only loan? Because you are in complete control of what your payment is going to be and how much interest you can save.
Yes.
Now, if you want to know more about this, before we go away, and I want everybody to hear this, if you want to know more about this, on how to do this correctly and how to do it efficiently, you need a computer to go into this. And I'm going to spend the last half hour going over the computer system that does all of this for you, that tells you how much money to move, what month to do it in, what day of the month to do it on, and to show you how it's more efficient, way more efficient, by tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest more efficient than the debt snowball. The debt snowball has worked, but it costs people way more interest than they need to pay. And that is hurtful and harmful. We need to stop it. All right. And we're going to get into that a little bit more, but go to the 10K card up above, ice10k.com. And you will find a button there that says get a savings and earnings report. Fill out all the information there. All right. Follow all the instructions. We need that financial data. And one of my assistants will give you a call and we'll go over that. We'll get you a consultation and you will know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.